fit in Fonzo's life. We've been through this for so long. I don't want to prematurely walk away and it can be fixed.
He has to show some action.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. We're talking to you guys about Shay and Alfonso when dealing with this topic of, not wanting to quit prematurely. I'm going to make it about Shay, but more on a general perspective, because I think all of us can learn something from this. And if you are new to the channel, please do me a massive favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because the streets out there are hot. We're talking about leaving a relationship prematurely. I do understand this topic quite well myself. Before we jump into it, let's have a little bit of an intro.
Little Black Book, you know what time it is.
Beautiful stuff. Yes. So talking about Shay and talking about Alfonso, I want to be very, very frank. It's understandable, Shay feeling like she doesn't want to jump out the boat just yet because it may be ahead of her time. And I totally get it. And I think it is a real thought and process and a real, I guess, a real feeling when you invested your time, your energy, your love, your patience, your endurance, your money into somebody, and it's not necessarily broken, like it's not the worst person in the world, but it's broken enough that you want to see change and you're not getting the change that you want. And then you're considering, well, should I jump ship because they're not that bad? And I think that's where Alfonso and Shay are. Shay's at a tipping point of wanting to change and run away, but she also knows he's not the worst person in the world. The lifestyle's great. He pays this, does that. He's patient. He's caring. Why give that all just yet? It may be premature. And that emotional investment that we do make can be oftentimes what keeps us in a relationship and what can actually also be keeping us in very bad relationships. I think in the case of Shay and Alfonso, there's definitely two people who want to love each other. There's definitely two people who care about each other. It's whether he cares enough to be able to make the changes that she needs and requires to make the relationship a blended family as she wants from him. That's the key thing. But I think another aspect for them to really involves or revolves around the issue of whether, they around the issue of whether he can also see the value in her. And I think for her, she knows he values her, but the change that's required is now being explored and spoken about by the elders on the show. You hear how the aunties were speaking to her and saying, listen, you don't have to be here. You don't have to accept this. And I think many of us sometimes accept things because we think we have to accept it. That's all we know. That's all we've ever had, And oftentimes, well, it's that level of hanging on is an indication of how we wished other people would hang on, how we wish other people would never give up on us. And I think that plays into the way Shay wants to hold on to Alfonso. Technically, we do things similar. We do certain things that we wish other people would do for us. So wanting that person to fight for you, be there for you, care about you is something that you would do. And you want to get that from the person. And so I totally get it. For Shay and why she wants to hold on to the situation the way she does. Let's watch a bit more.
Right.
Love cannot just be mere words. And unless he shows action, you really have nothing to build any type of lasting.
Now, the elders were coming correct with the advice. Love needs action as well as words. Many people will say, he or she has said this, said that, said this. But then when you look at the actions, they don't align and correlate. And this is often an indication that the person, although maybe does love you, does not have the ability to provide what you need emotionally, physically, mentally, financially, even sexually. Right? Because the gold is in the action, especially for men. The gold is in the action of them doing it. I say, I care about you. You're going to see actions from me showing you I care. And actually, that's also how I look at people as well. I don't look at you talking. I look at what you do, because many of us talk. All of us have spoken at a point in time and then not followed through. Actions definitely speak louder than the words, and no truer are relationships to that phrase. And so I think for Shay, as the elders are telling her, Look for the actions. And I think anybody else watching these videos, you want to know a truth about how your partner feels, look for the actions. Look for the actions, because there are actions that are going to tell us how people feel and how people really do see us and how they view us as well. It does not say they are bad. It's not to say that they are not great people. It's more of a case of saying they just don't have the capacity at this moment to be able to fulfill what you need. They don't have the capacity to do what you want them to do. And that's key, right? And that happens quite a lot. That happens in life. People don't have the capacity to do what you want them to do. Let's watch a bit more.
You know, and if he's not giving as much as you're giving, baby, you can't waste yourself like this here.
So I think in this case as well, as the elder has probably correctly said, if he's not giving what you're giving, then you don't have to waste your time and investment here. The ground is not fertile here. It's not growing. Then let it go. Because in all honesty, what you want is you want to be able to have what you've requested for, and what you've said that will make a relationship, what you happy in a relationship. That's what you've requested. Now, some requests take a little bit longer, but we've been at this mill for quite a bit. And therefore, I don't want to keep going around this mulberry bush of trying to get an answer, get an action from you, but I'm getting answers from you, but I'm not getting action from you, right? And that's another thing people need to watch out for. Sometimes people will give you answers instead of action. You've been looking at it for a long time, a bit like how Kenneth and Shorty are, with Kenneth talking a very good game, but we're not ever seeing Shorty's, we're not ever seeing Kenneth's ability to produce. Like, she wants to see action, and that's okay. It's okay to ask for the action.
I never would have expected my aunt to be so real about the situation, to let me know that it's okay to leave him.
And many of us don't get told that message, that it's okay to leave this relationship, even if it's not the worst. It's okay to leave. And I think many of us don't get told that, because people will tell you to hang in there. You know, at least he's not cheating on you. No, but I'm not happy. Not even that I'm not even happy, because that's a very easy cop out in a marriage per se, but when a relationship. But you know, they're not doing the things that are needed, that are essential in order to make the relationship continue in the best form and light. If that's not happening, we've got a big problem, isn't it? Right? The essential things that are needed in order for me to feel comfortable with this relationship going forward are not being done. They're not being met. And so therefore, I have to reassess whether this relationship is really for me. Okay.
The sad part is, I think I only wanted my family to let me know it was okay.
And many of us are in these positions, wanting that emotional support and wanting people to back our decision. It's not unusual for Shay to want to hear those words from my family saying it's okay to leave, because what we do tend to think is that we feel like a failure when our relationships don't work out. We feel like a failure when our relationships don't go the way we thought it should. We feel like a failure when we feel like, oh, I didn't complete what I was supposed to complete. So totally understandable that you feel that way, Shay. And I'm not even going to rocks against you with that. I'm with you, and I salute the fact that you're gone through that, and you're having those and having those thoughts. But you've got people around you that can reason with you very, very well and let you know you don't have to be okay. You don't have to be okay with the situation. It's okay not to be okay. You know what I mean? Anyway, like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button. Let us know your thoughts down below.
Little black.